What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode with AB Investments. I know we'll be doing a lot of lives, so not a lot of videos, and a lot of good information. So I want to thank all of you guys. But this is the list of plays for this week that AB wants to play. Basically, again, this is not financial advice, guys. Neither that I'm giving any financial advice. Neither should you trust or follow. My opinions on my speculative opinions on the plays or in the market, because I don't have any financial background. I'm just a wrinkled brain ape, just like everyone else. So this is all just hypothetical. Then, anyways, with all that being said, AB is going to start with talking about tlry, and tlry has a huge options coming up here in in this week and on the 14th of this the following week, next week. Now here's the crazy part: the options on tlry, all of you guys already know. If you're subscribed to the channel, you already know that I've had this position in tlry a little while ago. All of you guys remember it was like about 3 weeks ago when that I made some calls on tlry. So I have in that previous run up last week, I've settled some, and now I am looking to see, and they expire on the 14th. So I'm gonna see what what the market is bringing this week, and then tlry are gonna announce their earnings before the market opens on Wednesday. So I'm looking for a really volatile, high volatility day, and just to be totally honest with you guys as well, tlry has such a crazy squeeze potential, to the point where right now these numbers are such a joke, and soon you will see a lot of people saying, man, look at this, where it was at, I wish I would have at least put this in. It's always the case. That's how it works. So again, guys, not financial advice. This is just what AB is working with. So AB is looking at the like how everything is going to roll out with tlry in the next day or two, specifically right up till the earnings call. And then if there is a monster move tomorrow, AB will take care of his business. I'm not telling anyone when to sell, or when to buy, or when to do any of that. I'm not telling anyone to do anything. Again, I am one unfinancially registered person or individual. So you get the point by now. So that wraps that one up. Second one, bbig. There is some very impressive. I mean, you're talking about just for this week alone. Forget about next week. Listen, like next week is still next week is even a bigger of a problem. But this week alone still has a lot around, like as far as for now, we have around anywhere around between 100 to 120,000 contracts, call options, and the put options are very few. But here's where the signs of danger that I'm seeing. The closer options that I'm seeing, the closer they are in the money, majority of the people on that on those options have sold, and I know that through seeing the options volume and the short interest. Sorry, not the short interest, the options, the interest, the options interest. So when the interest is higher than the volume, then obviously that to me indicates that people are still holding. Majority of those options for that strike price is still holding, so therefore it's a sign of strength for me. But when I see that there was a higher volume than interest, then for me that raises some flags, because that means many people, or many of those interests, like the options interest or that strike price, have sold or parted ways, or exercised those options. So that is the scary part. Now here's where it's crazy, because I think that the market maker is hedging, and hedging really well, because he hedged, or they hedged, whoever it is, I believe it was the 3.5 and the yeah, the 3.5 and the $3 calls. You know, now when it goes up to the 4 and the 5, that's where things get interesting. The interest is much higher than the volume, which means to me the people are, or whoever has those options, are holding or diamond handing those, at least for this week. And these are all talking about for April 8th. Which indicates to me that there's a big possibility that either these people bought these options a while ago and they could be just, you know, that's this expiration day now and it's approaching, or that the people are expecting a bigger move. Maybe they played the options and where they played the 3 and the 3.5, and they, since they were close into the money, they cashed them out, and now you know, they're keeping their eyes on the higher ones, which that I don't see happening, because why would you sell, you know, you on the upper days you always sell the ones that are far out of the money, because there's a higher chance for them not being in the money, you know. So that's out of the question, I feel like, in my opinion. But excuse me, everyone also knows, if you subscribe to the channel, please go ahead and do so. If you're not, if you are, you know that AB also has a huge position in bbig. And it's not just as far as options or anything, but it's shares, because on the upcoming Cryptide, you know, hoping for that upcoming Cryptide move, you know, for the dividend and the special spinoff. So I'm looking for that, and I'm adding more to my shares in for that matter. I see that happening sometime in the end of this quarter, so maybe I'm hoping anytime soon, but at the latest, I'm not advisor, so all this is speculative. At the latest, I see it happening at the end of June, somewhere in the middle to end of June. That's when that transaction will happen. And like I said, I think it's going to be much sooner than that, but at the latest, I see it happening at that time. And then again, you get, for every 10 BBIGs, you get 1 free Cryptide, and it's tax free as well, which is very sweet. But for the meantime, we have until, from now until the 14th, we have some options, and I decided to look at the and get some on for the 8th for this week, and some already purchased a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, for the 14th. So those I'm holding. I'm very good on those. For this week, I saw that it was extremely cheap to get any of the $3 calls, which again, right now they're already in the money, so that's very assuring for me for the meantime. And the decay on it, like the theta on that, is not too high, so which means every day I think when I remember seeing those figures, I'm looking at losing about, if it goes under, as every day we're getting closer and closer to the you know, expiration date, which is on the 8th. If it doesn't go over the break-even price, every day I'm looking to lose about $2.80. But the contracts by tomorrow, since one day is gone, which I'm looking to get those contracts possibly tomorrow, are probably going to be around the $18-17, because I'm going to wait for the stagnant time and try to, you know, cop them up at the best time. But like, you know, but that's the ones I'm aiming for. Again, guys, I'm not giving any advice, but, you know, many of you guys asked me to, you know, put out my plays. I'm just putting out my plays, but, you know, at the end of the day, that's just for me. And I'm never going to tell anyone until after the fact of what happens, but I'm never going to come out and say sell now or buy this or even sell this. Again, don't have the license, so I don't know what I'm talking about. What else do we have? So we talked about tlry, we talked about bbig. Now IRNT, I also mentioned that one. IRNT is going to be a very special place. I've already begun the accumulation point, because I know that they have an earnings report this week. And the way that I'm looking at spending this or playing this is by accumulating as many stocks. If this thing goes up, I'm expecting it to really go up. Perhaps you know, going like it's due for a really big move. But I'm looking for a Q3 kind of a play, because that's when tech is normally having its most amazing time, almost around that time, toward the second half of this Q2 and toward the first half of the Q3. So begun the process of accumulating, because it's cheap right now, and eventually I'm gonna see how the the earnings are gonna be. If there's some crazy upside, I mean, again, I know what I'm gonna do. If there is not, and it's still stagnant, or a small little drop, it's not much, I don't care. It's already a very low value. I can add more to it, or I could utilize it to sell covered calls. So because after that, the earnings, if it's terrible, price drops. Very following week, or the 2 weeks after that, or anytime after that, I have the shares. I can write covered calls out of the money, make the premiums on it. Easy money. Again, I don't know what I'm talking about, so I could be wrong about everything. I'm not a financial advisor. That wraps up IRT for now. Now, the last one of the last two things we're going to talk about is ater. Ater is at a very, 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 very dangerous place right now for us, and for the shorts, and for the market maker. And here's why. Right now, when I looked for them, that monster move up broke the resistance level that ater was at. And the better part is that it didn't cool down yet, which means we're looking possibly for a cool off session tomorrow before the continuous movement up. I see ater making great strides here between now and the end of June to somehow, even probably sooner than then, but I could see it probably doing a move where it can climb up to the upper 9s and 10s. I know you're like, wow, you know how much that is? That's like over 200, 300% AB. What is wrong with you? Well, I didn't say it's going to happen tomorrow, even though it's still possible. Again, that's why I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know what I'm talking about. So AB is going to look for buying entry points for ater. For no shares or any of that, AB is going to look for some calls, because I will diamond hand this thing, because I see the true potential in that price and in that company. So ater moving up. I'm not going to get any weeklies on it or any of that unless the crazy stuff happens tomorrow. And like I said, it could be much sooner than June. But if it does happen really soon, then AB will still act on his position. It's just I will have to act much, much, much sooner instead of waiting for a very slow cool off. But my anticipated move that is going to cool down. So I will wait for that, timing, and for that perfect time to jump in and scoop some up. Now, which leads us to our final two things, GME and AMC, our two favorites. GME, I always want to save the best for the last, guys, right? I'm pretty sure no one is, not agreeing with me there. So GME, I see it doing its great thing today. Not only did it just consolidate, but it stayed, and they couldn't, they did whatever they could do, but they couldn't do much to it, even though the volume was really low. Today's AMC volume was weird because there wasn't a lot of retail buying as far as what it looked like, but yet we ended up over 50 mil. I anticipated that today was going to be somewhere around 20, 30 million max, in the 30s, but we went in the 50s, which is a bit odd, which is why I'm thinking, or hyper thinking, that we are due for our monster move tomorrow. And I said it in the stream, guys, and you know this. If you subscribe, you already know this stuff, some of this stuff. So AMC, GME due for big push tomorrow. And based on where we break to, our biggest breakthrough level, if we break out and no weird halts come out of nowhere, we're expected to be up in the $43 zone. And yeah, I know that's crazy, but guess what? We just seen it happen a week ago, right? So you can't sit here and tell me that, oh no, it's not possible, or it's too soon, that just happened. Trust me, I've been in the market long enough to know that there was some short squeezes that came after 40 or 50% gain days for certain stocks. When everybody thought it was going to dip, instead, it continued to go crazy, which is possibly the case in ater's case. But for AMC, I know just last week it had that crazy, nice little rip that we had from the 14s and the 15s up to, up to the almost the mid 30s, and then we dropped and cooled off again soon. Similar case with GME, but we still have a big gigantic move, because on a technical analysis level, we did not drop underneath the support level that we need. Tomorrow will dictate all that. If we drop with underneath that support level, and I believe it was at 20, no, sorry, the support level on the chart is around anywhere between 20 and 18 bucks. I know it's a very high number, but the reason why I'm saying that is because 20 is kind of like, okay, we're getting closer and closer, like really close. But 18 is kind of like, okay, yeah, we're right back down here. And I would expect a longer period for rebounding before we can make another push to the upside. So yes, guys, again, my pick for AMC and GME is a monster move tomorrow that could be followed with another continuation on Wednesday. I really could see us in the upper 30s, mid 30s by the end of the week. I wouldn't even be upset if we finish anywhere in the bottom 30s, right? 30. That's still very solid movement. It's very good movement. It's about a 23% move. If we can get that and hold it, we will be primed for even a bigger move the week after. But I want to, again, reiterate that I'm looking at 43.73 or 43.75, sorry. If we could get to that this week, which again, tomorrow could be a big day, and tomorrow Wednesday, then we will see what happens after that. And obviously we're here together every day. So again, guys, not financial advice. Hopefully this video, I know it was, almost 17 minutes long, but I had to give you a lot of plays, right? It wasn't just 1 or 2 plays. If you guys want me to just tell you about one play, let me know. The video will probably be 1 or 2 minutes long. Again, much love to all the followers. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. If you haven't liked the videos, also please consider doing so. If you don't, it's fine. But it helps push the video out, the content out to more and more people. Again, guys, much love, bbby Investments.